Good morning. My name is Bridget. Welcome or welcome back. I thoroughly enjoyed the books I read. Quite a few of them are 5 stars. Anyway, I started off with Taming 7. This is dedicated just to Gibbsy. Oh, he is really funny and you'll be laughing out loud from his comments and the banter between him and Johnny and shouts during the first 4 books. This book is a little bit more, he's not expecting things that he went through and sad. It's quite tough to read at times. You get to see a bit more depth into Claire and Gibbsy and not just the light fun side of their characters. Chloe Walsh's Boys of Tom and Siri will just always have my heart. Boys of Tom and Series. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next one already. The first one is still my favourite, but it's gonna be my favourite series all time, and that was a 5-star. And then I picked up the Dictionary of Lost Words. This one here was about Esme, and you follow her from childhood to adult and all the series of events from the late 1800s to the 1900s. She's quite naive at the beginning and then she really grows into herself at the end of the book. I had been listening to this one at the car on the way to work, and then I just picked it up last weekend for the 24-hour reading challenge. If you haven't watched that, go click on the link. I actually really enjoyed the ending of this book, but again it was a little bit choppy, start and stopping it on the way to work. I was listening to it quite slowly over a few weeks. It was interesting learning about what the woman did during the time when the Oxford English Dictionary was being put together. I really enjoyed that aspect, and then I always find the historical fiction books that I have read, there's an author's note and they recommend other books that are maybe non-fiction, the era where they got some of their inspiration from for their characters. And I always find that really intriguing and kind of want to pick up a little bit more history. It was good to sit down and read it in the reading challenge. I gave that one a 3 out of 5 stars. And then for the rest of the books, I think there's three more books. They're all 5 out of 5 stars. I have seen this author Kristen Hanna floating around. I really want to read The Nightingale, or the other one, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's about the 2 children. Maybe it is The Nightingale. Anyway, I read this book when I went away to stay in a tiny cabin, which I also filmed, and it's in one of my videos. Within maybe 70 pages, you're already kind of intrigued to find out what happens. Frankie, she goes to war under the hope of finding her brother in Vietnam. There is underlying themes of father-daughter relationship as well as addiction when she comes back from war, and this book is written from 2 halves, during the war and after the war. And I really enjoyed that aspect of this book, especially the second half of the book where she is adjusting to home life and figuring things out, as well as going through what she doesn't know, post-traumatic stress disorder, and a term is being coined around that time of the Vietnamese War. If you love a good cry, this book here is the one. Funny Story by Emily Henry. Absolutely binge this book. This book is one of my new favourite romance books. I went into this completely blind and didn't really know what to expect. You know you're reading a good romance when you can visualise it as a movie. I don't know if anyone else finds that. It's just a really heartwarming book between Daphne and Miles. Premises that she is broken up with on the night that her ex-fiance goes to his bachelor party, decides to give it a go with his childhood friend. That just happens to be Miles's ex, Petra. So Miles and Daphne have both been broken up with. Some turn of events, she goes to live in with Miles. They actually have the sweetest ever relationship. Adored, fun, light, a really good romance book. Lastly, I read the only fantasy, thriller mystery fantasy, and this book, oh my gosh, I also read it in the 24-hour readathon. It blew my mind. I did have really high hopes for it, and the high hopes were met. It is about Fortune, that's her code name. She goes on a mission with another spy, Orion. They have alias names. Lady Fortune has got a bit of a reputation because she was injected with a serum that makes her basically indestructible and bulletproof, and she can't die. Yeah, they're on this mission, nationalists and the communists, and it's also set in the 1930s. Yeah, and there's a budding romance in this as well, with a little side of romance, which was not expected, and I did enjoy it because with the other books I thought this was more of a romance, but it wasn't. It was more fiction, and this one was more fiction with a side of romance, and This one had a little bit more romance. You could feel the tension between the two main characters. The cover's pink. No, I didn't judge a cover by the book. It was so good and I recommend this book so much, and I can't wait to read the next one in the series. These are the books I read in the month of May. Some new 5-star reads. It's so much fun, and wait to see you in the next video. Let me know your favourite books of the month in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!